ARESxGOD here, and wow, what an episode! Just the way it went from the first half, showing how badly everybody is, in what condition they are, losing the fights, things are getting worse and worse, their motivations going down, their spirit, their morale, especially what happened with Byakuya. And I really like ARESxGOD, his mannerisms and everything. We're gonna get to that. But then the switch that happened kind of like in the second half of the episode. This is how you do an old man in anime. The epicness, the greatness, and the bad ass of a character that Yamamoto Genryusa is. This has been a long time coming, and if this episode just was the beginning, next one is probably gonna be insane. We have always wanted to see him in action, and we are getting there. So yeah, overall, just oof, what an episode. Let's get into it and talk about it. Now, starts off, we see everybody getting a bit more motivation that Ichigo is coming, the announcement, but that quickly doesn't work out because something is wrong. They figure out he can't really come over. Everybody was losing on all fronts, even Jidambo, the first guy we met during the arc, the Soul Society arc, right at the beginning of the series. I think one of the Stern Readers is controlling him. He went in and attacked Akon. Ichigo was trying his best to escape. He couldn't really do it. Akon even called him, which made Ichigo more than frustrated because you're hearing the screams of pain. Everybody was losing their energy. He was just powerless. He couldn't do anything, and we know this is probably the thing that affects him the most every time throughout the series, not being able to protect the people he cares about. So this is one of the most painful moments for him in the series, and especially in this case. Even Rukia having faith that Ichigo will come, he got mad, he tried slashing that gel, but didn't really work out. I'm actually curious how he's gonna escape, but probably for a few. I don't think he's gonna escape next episode. We'll see, because next episode is probably gonna focus on something else, and we'll get to that. Now, what I liked quite a lot, there was this scene we see Kenpachi finding Awach with people on his back that he beat, but we'll get to that. And also, I forgot to mention, there's an end credit scene which you really have to watch. Now, we'll see Killgem being very proud of himself with how he put Ichigo in his jail, and we finally figure out what the letters mean for each of the Stern Reader, kind of signification of their powers, him being letter J as in the jail, so power granted by Awach, with signifying what exactly it does there. So each of them, pay attention to their letters, is gonna be very important. Now, while he was having his smug moment, he actually got cut in half, even surprising Urahara, like completely cut in half. Now, I don't know by who, but hopefully we're gonna find out next episode. I really liked Urahara's reaction there. Ichigo again couldn't really escape. Now, beyond that, we had two key moments, two key characters in this episode. We had the one with Byakuya and his fight with ARESxGOD, and Yamamoto, and we're gonna get to that. Now, Byakuya had a really fight. He still wanted to help Renji figure out the weaknesses of ARESxGOD, not to use his Bankai yet, telling him just watch and pay attention. But this was like a very important moment for Byakuya, something he hasn't felt in a long while, and probably one of the most scared of he has been, or probably one of the most scary powers that has been revealed in the series. Even see him trembling, which I don't think we have ever seen Byakuya tremble. At first, even I thought was a poison, but before we get into what it actually is, I have to mention the mannerism, his characters, the tonality in the voice, the movement of his eyes when he was talking, the scenes, him always staying in the background and above Byakuya. ARESxGOD is very, very creepy. Like, made my skin crawl there. Imagine having that dude have his attention over you, and Byakuya is experiencing just that and even more. The way he was talking, just telling you something, but not exactly that. The creepy villain speech telling you have lost something, trace your memories, a sensation you haven't felt in a long while, fear. And this is caused by his power, especially with those arrows that he has, his letter being F, the fear. Now, Byakuya was still pushing through it with sheer force of will, even ARESxGOD made a mention of that, but wouldn't be that simple because he doesn't have this fear that is caused by something specific. The way he was messing around felt like a Itachi Genjutsu moment there, but even more, a lot more elevated, more deep rooted into instinct actually. There's no battle without fear. Byakuya accepted that at some point, but this is something more primordial still to say, still affected him. Those like a horror anime when he saw Rukia's face, like, I don't want to see Rukia like that. But this is also very effective against him because he has this much experience in battle, so it works even more against Byakuya, saying true fear, like countless flies coming over you, is like an instinct. And yeah, that's creepy to say the least. This was such a unique moment. ARESxGOD is probably the most interesting Stern narrator we have seen so far, because the others, sure, they have their own powers, but this guy also has that mentality of somebody you don't want to have the attention of. Seems like the most interesting one so far. And he's even able to use Senbonzaku Kageyoshi, Byakuya's Bankai, with the device they used to steal it, but with a twist with his own powers and even changing the color scheme. And to say that Byakuya was losing would be an understatement. He even cuts down Byakuya. Renji tried his best to attack, got blocked. Rukia sensing, she tried to rush there, but unfortunately she turned her back to an enemy. She got cut off, cut in the back probably. I don't know in what condition she's, but yeah, it's not looking really good for Byakuya. I don't think he's gonna die, but he's more than wounded, to say the least. Even try to get back up again, but being just destroyed by his own Bankai, and the way that fear ability works is probably the biggest, just having to go through with that. Yeah, Byakuya is experiencing something in a lifetime, to say the least. Renji was just about to unleash his Bankai, but got slammed by the Luchador Stenerita, which that dude doesn't really seem to have any brains, honestly, when ARESxGOD telling him, hey, you could have stole his Bankai. Yeah, but I didn't read the manual, so I thought only captains have Bankais. So that dude is not the smartest tool in the shed there. Now, Byakuya's sword also broke, and the moment when you see him in kind of the same position as Ichigo, in a way, being very powerless, trying to ask for forgiveness from Renji and Rukia, not being able to do more, just seeing Byakuya in that stage just shows how bad of a situation everybody is in there. So this was pretty much the first half of the episode, just showing the utter disaster that Soul Society is facing right now, getting invaded, being very powerless, and it keeps building up more and more. Have we ever seen Byakuya in such a condition, losing this badly? Sure, he has had some close fights, but nowhere this close, not this badly as he's against ARESxGOD. And I like ARESxGOD. He's probably the creepiest character we have had in the series, but in a good way. I like characters like this. Now, this is where the second half starts. We finally see the scene with Kenpachi showing up carrying bloody dudes that he beat, coming face to face with Yawach and one of the Stunner Eaters. I love Kenpachi. I really do love Kenpachi. He's one of my favorite captains in the series and one of my favorite characters overall in the entire series. And he's just so enjoying to see on the screen every time with the way he just shocked, especially that Stern Eater saying, "How are you even here? We knew you were a threat," but still, the way he was, I just beat these dudes. The cue, the question, are the roar, why the yourself. The first one he beat very easily. He transformed into a giant monkey. He split him in two. The second one, he was getting annoying. I ripped his throat out. The third one transformed into me, so I had to become stronger than myself. Overcome your limits. Insert Yami from Black Clover. Just Kenpachi is way over. Yeah, I love Yami, but Kenpachi is like the Uber version of Break Your Limits. Man, I love Kenpachi every time he's on screen. And he instantly went to attack Yawach, but he got blocked, and we're gonna get to that. Remember to watch the end credit scene. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back to the video. Now, Ichigo still being inside that jail, seeing everything, sensing what was happening, he started going wild, just slashing as much as he could on the jail. We see everybody in this bad condition, showcasing losing, being cut, wounded, him losing his mind inside, not being able to do anything. Even Hisagi having the fight with O, the overkill, which apparently his power works. The more he kills, the stronger he gets. So strong, sort of like a Saiyan, how they get stronger through fights. Just him getting stronger through kills. And from here, this is where the most epic part of the episode starts, and it gets to it, because it's revealed that he's the one responsible that killed Sasakibe, and he even tried to kill Hisagi in the same way with throwing a spear. And I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. As soon as he showed up, Yamamoto blocking him and saving Hisagi's life. Oh, this boy, you could feel that he didn't have to say anything, and I was just, oof, give me more Yamamoto. We have this dude, he had no idea what he did or what he was facing, what his action brought on to him. Just even tried just compounding on the mistakes he has done on all his life. He kept digging his own hole, literally here. He even used Sasakibe's Bankai, this thunderstorm and storm, and you see Yamamoto not say anything, and just the sheer anger and frustration and rage inside him without saying anything. The best moments in the episode are from here on. Now, before we get there, you see, I really appreciated these flashbacks with Yamamoto being younger and called Ejisai by the scar he had on his forehead, and how Sasakibe admired him, wanted to be his right hand man, but not become a student, not to copy him, but be somebody that compensates for what he is lacking being there. And they made this deal with achieve Bankai and defeat me with your Bankai. I really liked his Bankai, the way he gathered those thunderstorms in the tip of his sword, just charging, trying to pierce. He lost. Of course he lost. He was never gonna beat Yamamoto. But it wasn't about him winning, just proving himself. But he even achieved something. He gave another scar to Yamamoto, which changed his name to Jujisai. But out of respect for Sasakibe, he took a new name, Genryusai, and you see him talking to Sasakibe. This is how their relationship started, and showing how much he has valued Sasakibe over throughout the years and upon years and more years, and him losing Sasakibe, something like this, just shook him to his core. Just remember how much they have been alive, how much time they have spent together, the relationship between them, the respect and everything there, and this was a way to give him a proper send-off in a way. And he wasn't even talking to the Driscoll or the Overkill. He was like, he was saying his goodbye to Sasakibe while that guy was trying to use Sasakibe's Bankai. Hirsai was, your Bankai is not this weak, and I'm happy I got to give you a proper send off, and just decimated, obliterated, burned to ash. Driscoll, like, he wasn't even there, he was nothing in front of Yamamoto. This is how disgusted he was at him. He wasn't even considering him. He didn't even give him the time of the just addressing him by his name or acknowledge his presence. You are nothing to me, like ash, literal ash. Oof, I love Yamamoto so much. We finally see him using his powers. We have had a glimpse of him during the fight with Aizen, but was not even close to what's happening right now and what is to come. And the words he said after that to Isagi, don't worry, every last member of the enemy army I'll slaughter on my own. And he's finally on the move. And you see how much influence, respect, and just what this man means to everybody in Soul Society. The instant he finally unleashed his Reiatsu, being on the move, everybody sensed it. And remember at the start of the episode how everybody was losing morale, motivation, losing hope, and him just doing this, just how everybody got like a second wind again, got motivated. I really liked how Kyoraku put it. I feel like him unleashing his Reiatsu is punishing me for not doing better. Everybody just getting back up, even Bambietta being, hey, a minute ago your guys were practically dead, but now what? Just shows how important Yamamoto is, and just the epicness that he has, the badassery we have in Yamamoto. Probably one of the most badass old men in anime, and we know the cliche with old men in anime, but if somebody was to make a list, I feel like he would probably be number one, or at least in top 3. I don't even know who even comes close to Yamamoto when you have badass old men. Maybe Ryzen from Yu Hakusho, but yeah, let me know down in the comments below some badass old men in anime. I would actually be really curious about quite a lot of them. And like I mentioned, I can't wait for next episode, but I hope you guys have watched the end credit scene, because you see here, remember when Kenpachi went after Yawachi and he lost, just practically beaten there, Yawachi holding him by the throat just before he was able to kill him, telling, hey, I was expecting more, I overestimated you guys. And just behind him you have Yamamoto showing up, hey, it's been a longer surprise, motherfucker. It's time to finish this. And just the the anger that he had over the next episode can't come soon enough. I feel like each Bleach episode just makes you want the next one. Hey, give it to me, give it to me. Can't believe it has been this many years. I don't know when it's gonna sink in that Bleach is finally back. Can't believe that yet. And the epic moments we have now, big moments that are probably going to come. If you're a Bleach fan, this is the best timeline to be here. So yeah, to say that I am excited for next episode would be an understatement. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought about the episode. What was your favorite moment and why was it Yamamoto? And give me that list with strong old men in anime. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Bleach. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.